Do you write fiction?
Yes, I do. Yeah, right. Alright. So, let's start it off with you guys all. Let's start this off with you guys all closing your eyes and imagining a future. Imagine a future where energy is limitless, energy is clean, energy is free, and energy is independent from other countries. Now, imagine a polar bear. Is this future a possibility? With solar energy? It might be. I'm not really sure, but you're going to find out and make the opinion for yourself. Solar energy is the most abundant form of energy known to man. 178,000 terawatts is approximately what hits our Earth every hour, and that's enough to power everything in the world for a year. And today I'm going to inform you guys about the limitations and benefits of this energy source, because its impact is going to greatly affect our future, because we need renewables to have energy once oil runs out. And don't think that this isn't relevant to you, because it is relevant to you, her, it. They all run on energy. Everything uses energy. It's very, very impactful to our lives. And also, don't think that I'm not credible, because I researched this just like I hope you guys did for your topics. It'd be awkward otherwise. And in just like 20 seconds, I'm going to explain how solar panels work, just to give you guys an idea. Alright, so this bad boy, he releases photons. And solar panels, they have groups of electrons in them. They're rings of 8. So the photon, it goes into this group of electrons. They're in a circle, and it wants to be in the circle. So the best way to get into a circle is to tap one of them on the head and say, goose. And then the electron has to run around to the other side, but the electron's fast, and it gets back to its spot before the photon can get in. Now the energy it spent going around the circle is what creates energy, and just imagine that on a very large scale, and that's how the energy is created, which is kind of cool. So now let's see how this giant game of duck, duck, goose can benefit us. So the environmental benefits are great. Right now, 57% of greenhouse gases come from the burning of fossil fuels. That was a fact actually just released like 2 weeks ago by the Environmental Protection Agency. So it's very current, it's very hip. And to put that more into numbers, the average 8 kilowatt solar panel system, which is what usually typically goes on houses, what was I going to say there? Over the span of 30 years, it will save about 175,000 pounds of coal from being burnt. That's a lot of pounds of coal being burnt. Picture big stacks of coal. And besides for environmental benefits, solar panels have many other benefits. There's the economic benefit. The economic benefit is huge. A shift that went fully to solar would save the US about $1 billion a day. So you can keep on multiplying that to a year. That's $365 billion a year. Or you can multiply it by however many years you want, and you can get into trillions and trillions of dollars. So its economic benefit can be huge, and it can also pertain to you. The average household uses about 11,000 kilowatt hours of energy per year, and you pay 10 cents per kilowatt hour. So it will save the average household about $1,000. And for businesses and other corporations, this can be much more drastic even. It can be huge benefits that save you lots of money. But the reason that solar energy is not too popular right now is because it kind of has as many disadvantages as it does advantages. Right now it costs about $10,000 to put up a solar panel system in your house. So that's a big upfront cost to make the shift to solar. Well, this will pay off over 10 years is the approximate time that it'll pay off. It's still a $10,000 investment that a lot of people don't feel ready to do. And another cost of it is actually an environmental cost, which you usually don't think about when you think of solar energy having environmental costs, but it's because solar energy is actually, solar panels are made up of toxic metals such as silicon, lead, mercury, and some other small ones that aren't as big as the other three, but when not disposed of properly, that can affect our environment and hurt certain species and whatnot. And another thing is like the technology, it really does need improvement. Right now, solar panels only use about 40% of the energy that they could. So this will grow, hopefully over the next few years, and we'll eventually get to higher numbers, like 80% We would never probably get to full because that would be maximum efficiency, and that would be very hard, but we could get the numbers up to like 80%. And that would greatly benefit our society because we have a renewable that works really well. But once it gets that much energy stored, we're going to need a way to store it for things like night and clouds. And clouds, because the world doesn't really stop when clouds come. So we kind of need an energy source for when it's night or when there's clouds out. So now you know the advantages and the disadvantages. So the question to ask yourself is, do the benefits outweigh the disadvantages? And that's actually just up for you to decide right now, but as Elon Musk said in one of his TED Talks, he's very big into solar. He just invested like $400 million into this solar company called Solar City. He said, I'm confident that solar will beat everything, hands down, including natural gas, because if it doesn't, we're in trouble. And he's saying we're in trouble because in about 40 years, I think is the predicted time that we're going to be out of oil. And since our society runs on oil, that might be bad. We may find out if we don't do a switch to any sort of renewable. So now you guys know the benefits and the limitations, the benefits being the environmental and economic benefits, and the disadvantages being the cost of putting up the panels and that the technology does need improvement. So I just want you guys to be prepared because this technology could be a big part of our future. That's it.